funny that no one could hear us. Look at my hair. It's like big. This looks so intense. It's like the angles are really intense. This really is my hair color.
How long? Yeah. How long has it been since you've been on the Tea Party? Did we have the patterns when you were here last? The last time you were here, did we have patterns on the wall?
No.
You had
the
What's making you giggle?
I'm trying to like by looking in.
And it's backwards. It's not like a mirror. It's the opposite of a mirror.
So confusing. It's so confusing.
Right.
Okay, I think I got it. You had tie-dye.
Yeah.
You had a tie-dye. You had a tie-dye thing up in the back, in the lights. But we didn't have these psychedelic things. Last time I was on the Tea Party.
Okay.
Right? There wasn't that background video.
Did we have tracers?
I'm not sure what that is.
You don't know what tracers are?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
So I think that I want to have a live TV show.
You do? Uh-huh.
So I might take the certification.
Uh-huh.
What do you think would be a good time slot? So it has to be before the studio closes at 10. So it has to be between like 1 and 10. Should have an early morning talk show. That'd
There
be
it goes.
fun.
Okay. All right. These are tracers. Okay.
Yeah.
You've never seen tracers? You have to be over the green.
Oh, okay. Don't you think it'd be cool if I had a talk show in the morning? I should have an early morning talk show.
There you go. There's a little more. Now you can become a Hindu god this way. But it's on the opposite side from what you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, should we pretend that I'm having a talk show and you're my guest?
Okay. Shall I turn the music down a little more?
Okay, so this is the talk show.
Okay, and you're going to ask me questions, and I'm going to answer them.
Yeah. Okay, what's your full name again? John.
That's rather personal, isn't it?
Okay.
My full.
So anyway, how
my
did you?
full.
So,
I mean, by my full name, you know what?
Well, I mean, I need to know like how to call you, John.
That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we do that?
How did you get involved? I mean, so you've been doing media things for a long time. I understand. And for how long and why did you get interested in that?
Our light bulbs burned out. How long and why?
Why did you get interested in doing like audiovisual?
Okay, well, I guess I could blame a little of it on my father. My father was into electronics, and he was an electronics engineer, and he was a recording engineer, and stuff like that. Please come in.
Hey,
All right.
I'm practicing for a morning talk show.
Yeah.
I want to have a morning talk show.
Yeah. Please join us. And
What should we call my morning talk show?
wrong camera. Behind you.
Neat.
And
Put it over my head. Wait, go over.
And you're gonna eat that, aren't you?
And that's what happens when you leave them in the car. They just melt. All that coating comes.
That's
it looks
funny.
like it's been got. It looks like it's been in my mouth, but it's.
So,
Look at yourself on TV. Wave to yourself. Wave to yourself on TV.
so
Okay, you got
what's going on in the
There you go.
Yeah.
editing?
You've been watching that stuff before.
Right here.
It's backwards, so it's hard to know.
What's going on in the editing room, Michael? Is my hard drive set up?
No, it's not yet.
I was gonna
Kurt
try
just
to
put
do-
his on.
What are we gonna?
Okay.
So Michael
Please.
teaches the Final Cut
We
Pro
have this and we have
workshop,
that.
and he's gonna be teaching the third and final class tonight of the
Begin.
beginners Final Cut Pro. And what are we gonna learn in class tonight?
Speeding up clips, slowing clips down, reversing clips, making sub clips, importing audio, animations if anybody has them,
I like animations.
from other sources, music files from other sources, and then any questions and answers that are questioned.
So is class usually over at 8? I usually like to stay late and work on my personal project, but I think today I can't because I have a friend who has an art opening
Oh yeah?
down in the Bill Mechanic building in the River Arts District. And it's at
Cheers.
it's over at 9, and I have to ride my bike there.
I'll give you a ride down
Do you have enough room for a bike
there.
though?
Yeah.
You always
I-
teach your class when I have a
Is-
class.
Is that the plug in? Is that the one? Is that the show with the plugs on it? Oh, I want to see that shit so
What's
bad. And I
that?
googled her name.
With
and
with
she
the
didn't
plugs
come
for
Who
the
was it?
film
What was
festival
the
or
name?
what?
What was the
up. No,
name?
like electronic plugs. She's doing paintings of like circuit boards and like
Plugs.
Neato.
electronic plugs, like the little pig ear, rabbit ear, 3 pronged or 2 pig ear plugs. The grounds, you know. And she's just got the cord and the cable and the
Who was
plug
it?
and
What
then the
was her
background and. He's all circuit board electronic, and I'm like, man.
What was her
oh,
name?
I
What
gotta
was her
meet
name?
her. Oh, I don't remember, but it was down showing it film mechanics and some other places. I don't know.
Well, there's like 3 different galleries in that building. So, is it showing right now?
It should be on.
Well, then maybe you can go down and see it because there's 3 galleries in that building.
Did you see our you notice our patterns? You've seen our patterns already, haven't you? You've been watching the show, haven't
I
you?
have been watching the show.
And you know I've been playing the backgrounds. You didn't bring any more backgrounds, did you?
They're coming to you. You've got a couple more episodes.
Because that last one was I used it earlier today. It's awesome.
It looks perfect, and it's just going like this, like.
I know, and it's just wah, wah, wah. It just goes and goes and goes. This was too frantic. I didn't realize it, until I finished it. This is too much going on, and it moves too fast. I don't mind that. I don't mind the ornateness of it. I just don't want it to move quite so rapidly.
Just put a.
I think it's
Just, slow it
neato.
down, just bring it back into the timeline, slow it down, mellow it out a bit.
Yeah. Well, I'll need to.
I wonder if it's
I really
fun
just
to
need. I
watch
really
this.
need to shoot video with this in mind for it. I instead of shooting video with this in mind, I just grabbed some video I thought would probably work that I already had shot.
For stuff like that, I've been thinking of just staying on the X and Y axis, just straight pans left, straight pans right, and totally up and over as much as possible, and seeing how those will edit together back and forth with effects like that. Slow pans, they'll just spiral in and spiral out.
Yeah, I was going to throw an orgy of people, all people totally covered in colorful tattoos.
Ooh.
See what I mean? And then very slowly pan and zoom through that.
Ooh, that's
You see what I mean? And then kaleidoscope it. And I thought that
that's a great idea.
would make a really good background.
I've been avoiding caffeine, and man, I didn't get any sleep last night. I had coffee when I woke up. And coffee.
You really should
didn't
try
you get any
the
sleep
muffin.
last
No,
night?
no.
I just ate.
What happened?
All right, I'll eat the
some
muffin.
salad.
Where
My-
were you?
My dad was in town. My
How
dad's been in
fun.
town since Thursday or something. We've been biking our butts off.
That's great. Okay, I think these things should be. Well, come on, now let's show this.
They should do what?
I just think that this stuff is really gross.
Well, don't use it then.
I mean, do you use it?
Yes,
Okay.
but we have sugar there.
I know, I use the sugar.
We'll use the sugar. You don't have to use the artificial stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's artificial sweeteners for artificial people.
But I mean, like, my dad has diabetes, and people have diabetes and
Right.
stuff, and that's okay. I mean,
love-
I guess I understand.
Right.
Yeah. And then, diabetes is like the #1 killer.
Maybe, but then again, see,
It's like a big thing now. It's a huge thing.
I use that. Oh yeah, it's
huge.
diabetes is like
epidemic.
Yeah, it is. But see, I eat that stuff, and then I turn around and I.
Have some jelly with your bread. Have some bread with
That's a
your
lot of
jelly.
jelly. See, if you had butter here, it would have been. I would have taken
All over. Huh?
half the stick and put it on top of my English muffin.
John, this is my friend John.
Hi, John.
John?
Come in and join us, would
You
you?
can take my seat actually. 'Cause
He's
I
thinking
think
about
I
starting
gotta-
the show here. He came to orientation last night. So.
Are you a member?
Should I wash my dishes? I'll wash my dishes.
You can take it.
Michael. John? Nice to meet you, John. You want some tea?
Hmm.
I like Brad Pitt's character in True Romance, and he's sitting on the couch when they come out to visit him, and he's awesome, and he's got his little teddy bear,
Mm-hmm.
and the mafia and everything keeps on coming in, and he's like, no man, you want some bear?
Hi, everybody.
Greetings.
Come on in.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Wallpaper project.
Hi there.
I've been perfecting the wallpaper.
What's this?
Street.
We're having tea?
All right.
Tea time?
Indeed we are. I would like to
Yeah,
introduce some
toss
people.
that cord out of the chair, and
Oh, God, I don't know. Who wants to see themselves
Now,
on TV?
what does
They're
all
like
that
10
mean?
pounds heavier.
wallpaper.
Yeah, funny you should ask that question. Dr. Blackwell, who likes to see themselves on TV?
You do.
Here,
I see you have a tie on today.
here,
I
you
do.
sit over here. I'll sit over
Sit
there.
wherever you want. I brought family.
Yes, I'm his aunt by marriage.
Yes.
I see.
My husband is his
Kathy
uncle.
Howard and my cousin Vivian Howard, who until yesterday I hadn't seen in about 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
if you'll
we're getting
scoot
caught
up
up.
close, you'll
Alright.
you'll get into the camera shot, and that's
Right
just
there.
that's
And you want to
That's
see
good.
something really cool? Move your hand like that. You'll notice there's about a half-second delay. That is not what's coming through the cameras. That's coming off of the cable cast. So if somebody turns to channel 20 on their local cable system right now, that's what they see. You're on TV.
Yeah, it's like you fools.
Hardly.
That's no good.
Hardly.
Yeah, business
We have
man on
all
TV.
sorts of.
So I've got no business being on
Are
TV.
you
So-
supposed to wear plaid on TV?
Is that acceptable?
see if you
There's
Is
no
that
rules for that.
acceptable?
you can scoot up and you'll be in the shot as well.
Yeah.
There are no rules for what is and isn't on TV, except for one small exception that we unfortunately have to follow, in that there are certain naughty words that we're not allowed to say right now because it's live TV in the afternoon/early evening. But other than that, ladies,
good to
this
me.
is Dr. John Blackwell.
Hello,
The
John.
doctor is somewhat of an honorarium, but he is still a genius, and I have no idea who you are.
My name's John.
Two Johns?
Yes.
You have two
That's
Johns.
twins
Do you have a
wife,
number?
Johns.
Do you have a number?
A number? Hey, what sort of number?
Which John are you?
John.
John the first, the second?
One.
Anyway, there's tea in this pot. There's tea in that pot. There's tea cups. Y'all have a
Oh, this is cool.
y'all have a cup of tea
Hey,
here.
this is nice china too. I like this. Very pretty china.
That's the one she's using there that she's pouring into. That's the Wedgwood. That's all that's left of the Wedgwood. We had a box fall,
And it would be your Wedgwood.
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
man. Yes. Well, now, what's the different teas? Are they all the same?
Well, that pot has this tea in it. And if you flip the flap open on the right hand side,
On the right-hand side. Oh, I see. Oh,
and you can open that up and smell it or something. You can read about it.
it's one tea in Wu Yi rock tea. Oh, boy.
Rock tea? Is that like stone
Rock
soup?
tea.
Wu Yi rock tea.
See, earlier today, they were doing the traditional tourist thing. They were at the Biltmore House and all that there, and I figured now it's time to do something that really nobody ever offers an Asheville tourist to do, and so
That's
here they
true.
are.
A cup of tea.
Something other than the Biltmore.
Thank you very much.
What are you guys
You're
using?
So you did the Biltmore today.
Yes.
Did you like the Biltmore? Did you enjoy it?
Loved it.
It's a lot of walking.
Lots of
If
walking,
you-
lots of climbing.
Yes.
Lots
My-
of wine tasting. as
Yeah, we
well.
did a lot of wine
Oh, did you do the wine
tasting.
tasting? Was it good?
Yes, we did. And that was interesting. We were kind of lucky in that we picked the right demonstrator. He
He's
let us,
very personable
Yes.
individual.
and he said, well, each time we kept losing a couple of people. It said, well, just because we've lost a couple more people, we can add more wine tasting. You can try more bottles.
Oh, good.
So that kind of was a nice little extra.
Right.
And I ended up buying a case.
Okay,
Variety
good.
of
Did you
wines.
find some that you did like, actually?
Yes, yes. And I have to tell you, Matt, Matt had told us that the Biltmore, the wines there, at least they used to be, you know, they were kind of.
From a local perspective, it's very much thought of as tourist trap wine.
Yes. And actually, the fellow knew what I was talking about because I did mention it. Okay? I know I did mention it.
Yeah, well,
Honest to a
they know.
You know, and into enough wine tasting,
But
the
you know
tongue
what?
flows.
He agreed, and he says
Yeah,
we've come
that's
a
right.
long ways in the last couple of years
Well, they probably heard
in the
enough
quality
complaints.
of wine
Uh-huh.
that they, that they sell
Uh-huh.
at the Biltmore. And I'll tell you, by looking around, they were doing pretty well. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I was quite surprised how many people were actually visiting the Biltmore on a Wednesday, or Thursday,
believe
whatever,
it.
Thursday.
Well,
believe it.
we've been I'm of the opinion that they should have planted and raised and used native, at least more native grapes. And I think it was a big mistake for that. I think they've, imported French grapes and stuff to use, and they're trying to make like an equivalent of a French wine, and they instead
It's
of
locally grown, but
But
it's
it's-
using French grape stock.
yeah.
Okay.
There was also Italian, correct? There was one that
Probably
was compared
so.
to yeah, it was like a Chianti.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah. It
Right.
was-
Well, the fact is, though, they do that very well in France and in Italy. You see what I mean? And they do plenty of it in all other places in the world. There's a lot of that going on, but there's some very unique native grapes to North Carolina, which they neglected to use.
Well, I think it would have been appropriate.
But
Absolutely.
but there is a little winery down sort of east that and I can't think of the name of it right off the bat, but they use muscadines and scuppernans in their wines.
And that's local, a local grape?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
I was born in Winston-Salem. Where are you
Oh,
from?
Winston-Salem. Okay, where are we from, Vivian?
Northern Virginia.
No.
Indiana.
Yeah, D.C. metro area.
Suburbs.
You weren't born there. You weren't.
I am one of the very few natives
Really?
of Northern Virginia. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. One of the few.
Uh-huh.
Most everybody that lives there now is from all over the country, if not all over the world.
Uh-huh.
And it's made it quite.
Are you near Reston, Virginia?
Yes, Reston.
I know that one well.
Yeah, Reston.
The,
Reston
the
was a,
synthetic city.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it was.
Yes.
Actually, it was actually one of these self-made towns that Gulf Oil built.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they were trying to make it all inclusive, where it made it feel like a village.
Right, and everybody was supposed to be able to walk to work and walk to the store, and it was I thought it was a great idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably human beings are probably too complex to totally plan for. Just comes out a little sterile, but I've been there. It was nice.
It was, well, I'll tell you, it was a neat idea at first, but as time went on, it actually, they had some problems that
Uh-huh.
were created, it's sort of like urban problems.
Uh-huh.
And one of the big problems there is that that there was a drug ring, actually, that kind of settled in the Reston, what they call Lake Anne, the
Mhm.
center of the place. So they had a real problem with drugs.
Around
This was back
the
in the early 70s.
around the lake.
Around the lake.
Yeah.
Yep.
I imagine so.
Yeah, which brought crime.
What kind of drugs were they?
I have no idea. I didn't frequent the place. I did though my best friend moved into Reston.
Uh-huh.
We grew up together in Arlington, and in the late 60s, and when she became a teenager, she and her parents moved out to Reston. So kind of missed her. And it was like, in those days, even though it was maybe 15 miles away, it was like another state.
Right.
I mean, you just didn't go out that far.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, it was far out when they put it there. It was out in nowhere.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Farmland.
Uh-huh.
There was actually a lake,
The lake was nice. I liked
Lake
the lake.
Fairfax. Well, you know that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live in Tysons. We live in Tysons now.
Don't you? I know that area.
Yeah, you do know that. Well,
I find him to be a shocking font of knowledge.
so
My godmother lived out there for a
Oh.
while.
okay. All right. When was this?
I would say, I don't know. I'm not sure when they built the place. Was it in the 60s?
Yes, it was
So
in the
I would
60s.
I would guess it was in the 60s. I mean, it was just built when she lived there. It was
Yeah,
just
that's
brand
probably the original site. Now it's like tripled and
I'm
maybe
sure.
quadrupled
I'm
in
sure.
size.
Yeah. Oh, it was just very small.
Now they actually have the Reston Town Center. They've created all these town centers around Northern Virginia, right?
That's right.
Like in
You can
Loudon.
only get there really by the toll road.
Yes, they're all off the toll road. This toll
Sounds
road.
like a racket to me.
Yeah. Toll road is a racket, if you ask me.
Where's
It
the
keeps going-
closest toll road to Asheville? I don't think I've ever been through a toll road.
They don't have them here.
Be
Well,
thankful.
now, John, where are you from?
Candler.
Candler.
That's-
Were you born in Candler?
Well, I was born in Mission Hospital, but
Uh-huh.
I was taken straight to Candler.
And how old are you?
23.
23. Have you lived here all your life?
Yes, sir. Actually, I just moved from Candler out to West Asheville.
I see. That's not a very big move because Candler is like almost right beside West
Well,
Asheville.
Geographically, it's not a very big move, but yeah, it's a
But
strange
philosophically,
scene, yes. Yeah.
philosophically, it's a huge
I was
move.
thinking
So, are
of
you
trying to
a
put
recently
some-
signed up URTV member?
Well, I came to the orientation
Spoon.
last night
Spoon.
and don't have $50 yet. So.
Okay.
But as soon as it comes together.
Well, welcome to the party.
All right.
Good enough.
Appreciate it.
Have you got some method in mind to come up with the $50? Have you,
I think so. I do have a job. So.
Okay. All right. And then what? And then when you do become a member, you have plans. You're inspired. You have an idea of something you want to do.
Somewhat of an idea. I don't know. I really thought it would be really nice to do a dance show, like an American bandstand, like an old school
Yeah.
type of dance show. I think that would really hit the spot in Asheville.
Is that right? Are you going to
I think
do
so.
that?
Well, I
That's
don't know.
interesting.
We've been
Nobody's
thinking
done a
about it.
dance show
I
on
don't
URTV
think. Well,
yet.
that's what I was trying to think.
Sort of like Dancing with the Stars?
No. Like American band. You remember
I remember,
American
yes,
band
I
of
give it
course.
stuff.
an 85. It's got a
You're a
good beat and
boomer.
it's easy to dance
Yeah,
to.
definitely a boomer, right in the middle there.
American band stuff. What was his name? What was the guy's name?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Dick Clark?
Dick Clark.
Dick
yeah.
Clark.
Yeah.
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark.
Dick
who-
Clark.
Right. Who obviously had swung a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
She looks like totally surprised.
I don't know. What do you mean he had a deal with the devil?
And
Well,
the
you-
fact that the guy just didn't seem to get older.
For 50 years, he
Oh,
didn't age
didn't-
a day.
That's right. That's
Remember
right.
he
Sort of
didn't
like the
age a day for
the
50 years? You remember
yes.
that?
Who was it? Dorian Gray.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
he suffered
Right.
like a major stroke.
Yeah, he
like,
did,
A year ago, and
unfortunately.
Right.
we haven't seen him since.
Right. Well, the contract ran out, but and
With the devil.
that's not
Yeah.
funny. Just ask Dick. Anyway, but yeah, obviously, I mean, he swung a deal with the devil. I mean, he's the classic rock and roll
Guru.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
he was
And
a guru.
I used to work in a studio down in Miami, and there was in one of the studios I used to work in Miami, the guys would come by who worked for BMI and ASCAP and different things, and these were reporting guys, and their jobs were to go around. They talked to disc jockeys and various things. They were involved with the distribution of records and stuff, and the collecting of information about their records, which they would report to their magazines that they worked for and stuff like that. And this group of guys in Miami would come into our studio and sort of take a break in the day and phone in their results of things, and that was and that was something that and that was kind of good for our studio because that kept some traffic through there, people in the business and stuff, And there was a guy there who had a single out, a record out that he had produced or something, and it had just gotten into the top 10 or the top 100. It had gotten into the top 40. That's what it had gotten into the
Which was
top
good enough.
into
Yeah.
the top 40, and I was very impressed because his single had gotten into the top 40. But I happened to know that there had been a problem at the pressing plant, and the record had not been pressed yet. And in order to be into the top 40, you have to be reported as the song being played by a number of radio stations a number of times a day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he had enough statistics, to get himself into the top 40. However, his record wasn't out yet because it had been delayed in the pressing plant. And so I asked him, I said, how did you do that? Because I was impressed. And he says, Dick Clark owed me a favor.
Oh.
And that was his answer, and that's how it happened.
And that's how he got him in the top 40?
Right. He just called in a favor from Dick Clark, and
It was done.
And it was done.
Wow, that much power, huh? I guess Dick Clark was
Well,
the
how
man.
many
Yeah.
Yeah.
how
He had everybody
many
on his
musical
show.
acts did Dick Clark have risen and fallen around him, and he just was eternal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how
Well,
many
all the
did
great
you see
What
come and
about
go
his?
crash
Was
and
there
burn?
not a Dick Clark trio? Was that not it? Or the
No.
Dick Clark 5?
No, you're thinking of
Dave
his
Clark.
Brothers?
There's the Dave Clark 5.
Oh, Dave Clark 5, yeah.
Right.
They might have been on there too. I mean, I don't
They
know.
may.
if the Beatles- Okay.
Oh
This is
really?
great.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see what else we have here. We have.
Are we gonna?
Oh no.
Okay, we're
What do you get
good.
to see?
We have that.
Oh,
wow.
wow. That's psychedelic.
Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh no. We have all.
man.
We have very psycho things. We
Look
do.
at that. Is there a group? Is there a band playing in the background?
Yeah. I can't really say the name of that group. The last part. It's the Surfers. Is the name of the group.
The
I'm not even allowed to
Surfers.
say that on TV.
No kidding.
Well.
As in the Beach Boys?
No.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not no Beach
material. I
Boys.
don't think
No,
so.
they are not Beach Boys.
May I speculate and just be the one to take the risk?
Don't say it. It's
Okay.
on my show. You know who it is.
Okay.
It's the Surfers.
Okay, but they got played on
Oh.
MTV and they said who they were. So.
Okay, yeah, they got played on MTV. They were on.
You would
They had
know
that
more.
one big single.
Did they? I don't really know. That was actually from a show that I did with them. All the backgrounds that I use on the various bands and stuff are bands that I've done shows with, and I don't know. I think that's Driving and Crying, and on and on.
It's sort of like watching a strobe light.
Mm.
Well, at
Back
this
in my
time,
day.
because I've got it going super fast,
Yeah.
so I can
Hey, I like the way your clock up there is
slow it down.
high, you know?
Yeah, it's not
Oh yeah,
even.
we do time experiments here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
that
see
that
that. You
clock,
never
the
really tell
cockeyed
what
one, you'll
true
notice
time-
isn't even remotely accurate. Like it just is frozen in one place. It's the one next to it that's the accurate one.
The atomic clock.
Yes,
That's the
the one
atomic.
getting the signal from the satellite supposedly.
Supposedly now we've got the atomic clock synchronized with the server.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that works.
Yes,
So we'll see how long that happens.
yes, we will see.
Oh, I like that background.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Haven't you ever wondered if, say, that's receiving signals from the satellite? Maybe if it's sending signals up to a satellite too.
Well, we're sending. Well,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
This is what you're seeing in the background. We call that's our time machine on, but it's like on idle. That's what time machines do when they're just sort of idling.
Sitting there,
And
okay.
yeah, and time is just sort of like rolling by in there.
Yeah, time does roll by, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we just got here late last evening, and we're going to be rolling out of here tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not staying very
You're just
long.
blowing right through.
Yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there isn't a place to stay in all of Asheville. They're
Why
booked
is what's?
solid.
Oh, is it leaf season?
Yeah.
It's leaf season.
Yeah, it is.
I don't
except
know.
that we're not really getting leaf
Yeah,
season
that's-
because
I
it's
know.
so dry.
Well,
Right.
it seems
They're
like the
all
leaves
turning to
are
brown,
the
I
leaves are
think.
Yeah.
green.
Drought.
The leaves are green, and then before they don't turn colors, they just fall off.
And that's what they've been doing. That's what they were
Yeah.
doing at the Biltmore.
Yeah, how you like the new
Roads.
saucers? Did you notice Did
Yes,
you
I
notice
did.
that they're like deep dish?
It's lovely.
They're kind of deep dish. Some people like to pour their things in their saucers.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
that way you get to have the option of being a slob, I guess.
Yeah,
if
but anyway,
someone
that's
so
they're
wants.
the deep dish, So we got those. And
Hey, you had an aunt who was into teacups. Aunt Carolyn.
Yes,
Yes. There were teacups all over her house.
among other things. It
Mhm.
wouldn't have
Among-
really stood out in my memory.
This was his great aunt who passed away. Was it back in 2000?
About
it was
that,
before.
yeah.
It was before 9/11. I know that.
Late 2000, I believe. She passed away not like mere days before the first time I ever had gone back to Connecticut since I left, so I was by coincidence able to make it for the funeral.
Yeah.
Though I went back for a friend's wedding. And yeah, she was a bit of a pack rat, and I've never.
Oh my!
I'm
Remember, there was a
understating.
pathway from
Yeah.
the front door leading
Uh-huh.
through the home and out through the kitchen and out. Out.
A small but
Small.
all the same 2-story house with a basement. There was pathways and like enough space set aside for her to occupy like a spot in each room, and that was about it.
right.
And same with
Literally.
the bed as well.
Yeah.
Just enough for her body to lay.
Yeah.
The rest was
And-
piled.
But you can imagine this home. The family originally had moved in. Her parents had moved in from the old country. They were from what was once Yugoslavia. Okay, and they settled up, I guess, there in Norwalk, Connecticut. And so she somehow, I guess, she inherited the home from her where was it? Her parents or grandparents? Her parents.
I would assume
Her
parents,
parents. Yeah. And she lived there her entire life, from the time she was born till the time she passed away, which was probably in her early 80s. And so you can imagine how much stuff she had acquired. But it was interesting because it was stuff that I had never even seen. I mean, it was kind of neat to go. You went like
Stuff
you were
that was
going-
before even
yeah.
your time.
Yes.
So she had good stuff though.
It
right?
was good stuff, and I think we threw away a lot of good
Oh,
stuff.
see,
That's
that's
right.
terrible. See, I went to a
So
guy's
huge
house.
Dumpster full of
I went to a guy's
items.
house one
Yeah.
time. They had that done.
Yeah.
He had little paths. He had it everywhere stacked up, but he didn't collect good stuff. He just collected stuff. Like he would have like a giant cardboard box this big of one type of Hardee's wrapper that had been flattened and pressed out and filled
Hardy.
into a box.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he had a
True hoarder. They call them hoarders.
hoarders.
Yeah.
I guess, so pack
Well, and
rats
Carolyn
stuff.
kept every
It was
twisted
interesting.
tie and rubber band she ever came across.
That's right. That's right. Every lid, twist them.
Anything that could be possibly remotely
Oh.
useful in the future.
Well, one of the things, what was it? You can get it in it's like a lemon. The
It's like a
lemon
lemon.
juice. Some kind of. Well, she would painstakingly take every label off of each bottle, and had them all rolled up in a nice pile.
Saved the labels.
The labels, yes.
I have tendencies like that, not nearly as bad, but I have a little bit of it, and Doris every once in a while is like, no, throw it out.
That's right. She's got the right idea. If you haven't used it in the last month, you don't need it.
Well, there are things that are worth keeping around more than a month and the like. I mean, there are things
Or
that
clothes.
occasionally go into like a toolbox or something like that I have 2 years later busted out. But
Right.
Oh, it's good to have stuff now. It's good to have stuff.
You think so?
Oh, I think
It's
so.
occasionally, well, yeah, if you want to
Stuff.
take kind of a handy sort of practical attitude, it's good to have a reserve of certain kinds of key knickknacks to occasionally call upon.
Stuff. Just stuff. It's good to have stuff.
But wrappers is,
You gotta have
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, well,
Labels from jars though.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
I,
it was labels.
see, I save jars and I save lids, but I don't save labels.
Actual label. She had actually cut the labels straight line, and it was the kind of label that wrapped around the bottle, and painstakingly peeled it off, and fit nicely. I mean, just stacked them all up, off this lemon bottle. What is that lemon stuff called? I forget what it's called. Oh.
Was there any kind of coupon on the back or
No, there were no coupons.
recipes
Actually,
or?
she didn't save coupons, oddly enough.
Yeah.
Just stuff.
Right.
And of course, the sink was filled up to the top with dishes. But she did have a thing for teacups. And
Well, I've started what I think is a problem here in Asheville. See, I'll have you know that I hit the Goodwill in places regularly. Teacups have a short life expectancy. When I'm doing the tea party a couple of days a week and I have to get set up quickly, and then when the show's over, someone else is coming in and doing a show, and teacups get broken. One day I just threw one at the wall and broke it because I was told it would be dramatic, so I did it.
So you did it. I hope you didn't.
Was it
pick-
good for ratings?
Yeah, I hope it wasn't the porcelain. You know, porcelain. You're supposed to, if it's
think it was
true
one like
bone
this,
china,
yes?
you can see.
It was a
the shadow.
teacup just like that one.
Just like this one. Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
Remember
Yeah,
left
which
a
is
blast
actually-
pattern on the
So,
wall.
Dr. Blackwell, what are you a doctor of?
where did you get your doctorate?
More than
in?
anything,
I'm not
Philosophy?
a doctor of anything.
you just play one on TV.
I don't have. Yeah, I just play one on TV. I'm not a. I don't have a PhD,
He does have the lab coat.
He's got the.
but I have a lab coat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really the most
Right.
important part.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes him look very
You know those big
official.
round mirrors?
I have
That would
no.
really
Wrong kind of.
The gloves. Boy, watch any doctor with
He's,
gloves
he is
on.
in fact a very skilled audio engineer.
Oh, no.
Yes, he is.
All right. So
Show the
So-
feedback thing.
I did that.
Okay.
We did
Well,
the.
show them that again, if you can, because this is something you figured out how to do yourself. This wasn't a setting on the. This was not a setting on the board. Yes. This is your own.
That is
Wow.
too cool.
You have to
It's
be in
gotta
front of
be
the
against,
green.
Yeah, it's got to be against the green. See,
Gotcha. Huh.
There we go.
because it's an effect with the chroma key. Where the
And then when it's time to leave, we go, "Happy trails to you."
Here you can
Till
get around
we
John's face here.
meet again.
Huh?
Like that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
See, he does stuff like that.
the happy trail, huh?
Right.
Mhm.
So
I think your pants are picking up on something as
yeah,
well.
yeah, you have blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
now
Wow, too cool.
imagine the possibilities.
I can do other things too. We have other things. We have other things we can do. We can do this right here. Wait a minute. How about this one?
Oh, my, split screen. We're a little out of focus now.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but
Or are we
but
losing
we have this
focus?
going on along with our out of focus. We have that. See, so. All right, so we make it more.
Well, you know, on our way over here, I think we were watching a commercial being shot on the Biltmore grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Some
weed
woman with a
whack-
weed whacker. It's very strange. Anyway.
weed whacking on the Biltmore estate.
You learn to
No.
take it all. You learn to take it all for granted.
Yeah, I think so.
This town, you can learn to take a lot for granted.
It looked pretty fancy
Ooh, I
though.
like that.
Yes.
I'll do this for a while.
They go a long time, and I can change that too. I can make it like that right there too. See, which is somewhat
Sort of a
different.
butterfly.
So they're just passing through, but as it happens, they are going to be in town for an episode of Mount Dungeon, which comes on tonight, Thursday, this very
I
evening
see.
at 11 p.m. Right
So-
here tonight, we have Mark English on Mount Dungeon.
Our light bulb has
Mark
burned out.
English.
Make sure to tune in.
Our light bulb
folks.
has burned out.
Oh, so we have no atomic symbol. at the moment? So we have no atomic symbol. At
No
the moment.
to- no,
That's-
no.
that's- oh well,
Now, what happens if this light is out?
That's okay. It's just but
that
we
one right there.
yeah we usually have a.
This looks like fancy equipment to me. Whose equipment is all this?
It's the stations.
It's the station.
Now, how is it funded, if you don't mind me asking?
That's a good
This gets
question.
complicated. It projects an image of that on the wall. The atomic symbol there.
Oh wow! Yeah.
For the Mad Scientist Tea Party. Oh, welcome to the Mad Scientist Tea Party experiment in live television. That's what you're attending, and the dress code
What we're
is
experiencing.
wear a lab coat if you've got one. There's lab coats available if you would like a lab coat.
I wish
Matt,
I'd known. I would have brought some from home.
Do-
I'm a nurse.
do you have some
so
lab coats?
I actually have many lab coats.
Oh, but home's not here in Asheville. It's a
No,
long way away.
No, it's a long ways away.
You're not going to be able to run home and get one, but we have some here for you if you would like. Matt will get you one if you would
Sure,
like.
I'd love to.
Okay,
Why not?
you
Why
want
not?
to? Why don't you grab your guest
The mad scientist
lab
look.
coat?
You know.
Would you like one too, Mom?
Sure.
All right.
That's a the atomic symbol run through a negative effect on my phone. A little camera.
And you can have one too. Do you want a light coat?
Well, sure.
Whoa.
This is my
Bring
flannel.
one.
I can't
Bring one for John here. Yeah, you can.
Neat.
You can come back to the
to the.
tea party. Yeah.
All right, even a disposable. Here, I'll
Yeah,
take the
well,
disposable. Here we go.
they're
I
more-
look like a Pillsbury Doughboy here.
They're more.
This
Actually-
is for toxic spill. No, I'll tell you what.
Right.
it's
They're
thinking.
actually more. They're actually more resistant. Yeah. Like if you
This is for toxic spill.
if you get
know?
if you get
Well-
tea spilled on you or something, you know. Okay. And you got the one that you have the
The real. That's the official.
the silk screen on the lab coat pocket. You have a silk screen on your pocket.
So the Anarchy TV symbol.
Mhm.
There it is.
There we go.
Yes. There we go.
Hey,
Okay.
now we all look alike.
Right, now
here.
we now
Okay.
okay now I'll be
This-
Dr.
this gonna-
Blackwell. What's your last name?
Fulham.
Huh?
Fulham.
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 F-U-L-L-A-M.
Dr. Fulham.
Fulham.
And you're Dr. who?
I'm Dr. Howard.
Dr. Howard. Yes, Dr.
They
Howard.
are all
And
Dr.
Dr.
Howard
Howard. Dr.
as
Howard.
as well as me.
And Dr. Howard.
Howard, and Howard.
Yes, Dr. Howard. Yes.
Sounds like a law firm.
Okay.
Seems
Howard.
to
Howard.
run in the
Howard.
family.
Yes. All right.
The
let's see.
lawyerly-like names.
Yeah,
Yes.
the lawyer-like
see, what
names.
shall
Yeah,
we-
the Howard and what is your father's?
Howard, Howard, and Howard.
McMullen.
Howard and Macmillan.
Macmillan.
Unless I
excuse
don't
me.
think he's got an D'Aquila now. I think they've got a law
D'Aquila?
partner picked up since I moved, but I think it's Howard Macmillan and D'Aquila.
Okay, very
So.
good.
If I have it right.
Do you have a what?
If I have it right.
I think you might have it right. That sounds. Yeah, that sounds a little familiar. Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
it feel smarter?
I do.
Don't
We're
you
doctors
do?
now.
Yes. Yeah, you see what a lab coat can do for you? Now, what are the little symbols on your pocket?
Anarchy TV,
Yeah.
which is a show that
You know what that is, right,
he
Mom?
has.
No. Something.
It's the
No
Anar-
government.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
that's
boy,
that's
I'm
the
in the
symbol
right place.
for that's the symbol for a TV show that he was doing before he's doing this one. So.
So anti-Big Brother, basically.
Yes.
Watching over the shoulder.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. We don't like that around here.
Well, as you can understand, where we live, they're everywhere.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they are.
So what is it
It
that?
doesn't mean that you agree with it.
Yeah. So what is it you used to do for the CIA?
Oh, you wouldn't say that.
no.
Oh man, right on the public. She's gonna get in
Yeah, what did you do?
trouble.
What did you do with the CIA?
Now I will have to kill you.
See, now she'll have to kill you.
That would definitely improve ratings.
Yeah.
That was
Wow! Wow!
Yeah,
I was too
that
loud.
was in my other
Wow!
life.
Wow! Wow!
Yeah.
See, wait, a little bit is a little bit is like that, and then I get that going, and then you